to Date and Debate. I am your host, Andrea, and I'm here with the lovely ladies of Modern Day Mujeres, Melanie and Liz. Hi, girls. How are you?
Good. Thank you for having us.
Oh, thank you so much for coming all the way here. And
I'm so excited to be here.
Me too.
I'm ready for all the juicy stuff.
Oh my god, this episode is gonna be fire. Like I already know it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm super pumped.
Yes.
So before we get started with our topic, I just want you guys to do a quick intro, who you are, how did you guys start Modern Day Mujeres, and yeah, who's Liz and who's Mel? Tell us all about it.
Well, I'm Liz, and Mel is here with me. We started Modern Day Mujeres back in May, the end of May 28th.
2019.
2019. So we have a little bit over 6 months now.
And you guys have a ton of downloads now, don't you? Or
We hit 10K.
That's
downloads.
crazy. That's amazing.
It's
Congrats.
Thank you. And it's been a crazy journey because I guess when we started this, it was really like, I feel like we repeat these constantly, but it was like a healing process for both of us. And also for me, generally, since I am a mom and I am a wife, it was kind of like my creative outlet, something that I can do outside of just being a mom. So when Mel came up with the idea of let's do a podcast, I was like, hell yeah, like I get out of the house, I get to have adult conversations. And at the same time, it started evolving into this community of other women who wanted to join us and tell their stories through us.
Yeah.
I mean, that's been like a crazy journey too, because who wants to come talk to two random girls and tell them
I think
stories?
it's very relatable because I'm Latina and I don't have I used to live in Florida and then in DC, and I had a really strong Latino community with me, and I had like a ton of Latino friends. And here I'm like, I don't. It's just my friends from work. And when I found you guys through Cafe with Monica, I was like, yes, give me all the Latino girls. And I was like immediately drawn to it. So, and I love your episodes.
Thank you.
The funniest one was the one with Alex.
Oh my
He's
gosh.
hilarious.
Mr. Alexander Chase.
Don't let him hear that.
Look into his head.
He already has a big head as it is.
He's like, when we're recording again, ladies. I'm like, oh
Oh,
my
yeah.
Oh,
god.
God. Oh, shoot.
Our producer, our
Every business partner. Or
everything.
Yeah,
He's in Toledo.
Yeah, but tell them about you, Mel.
Yeah.
I feel like I just
So what led you to like start the podcast?
So I went through a pretty tough breakup a couple years ago, and I kind of found myself healing by taking time by myself and all the things that I learned while taking time by myself, of things that I wanted to change in my next relationship, things I noticed with myself, my toxic traits. And I kind of wanted to share that with other women because I know that so many other women were like me or are like me, that they have those things that they don't realize. There's no self-realization sometimes with women.
Yeah.
And not saying that I'm perfect because I have so many flaws, but I find the podcast is like a healing thing because it opens my eyes to all sorts of women and what they go through in their experiences. So, but yeah, when I brought up the idea to Liz, she's like, let's do it. Or actually, I had wanted to do it, and she was like, let's do it together. And I was like, even better.
Yeah.
Now I have somebody to bounce off of, talking to. And I had no idea that it was going to be like a bigger thing where other women wanted to come on. And I love that. Because I think we would run out of things to talk about, because we are friends and we talk about things outside the podcast. So it's nice to have other women come on and talk about their own experiences.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, congrats, ladies.
Thank you. We're excited for you too. I'm excited for this podcast.
I'm
I know.
super excited. This also started like, it was, I don't know if you guys have read my blog, but it was inspired by my blog where I shared terrible dating experiences, but made light of them. But nonetheless, they were hard in the moment. And like, there were moments I was just like, what the fuck is happening? Like, why can't I just get it right? And a lot of people were like writing in and saying like, oh my gosh, this happened to me and this happened to me. And I didn't want to make a podcast about my blog, but I wanted to just do it about relationships and people, just talking about like different perspectives and different kinds of relationships.
Yeah.
And it's not a one size fits all kind of thing like that we're led to believe, you know, like if you're not married by 30, if you're not married by this time or having babies, like a lot of the people that I've interviewed have come from very different walks of life and have had different experiences with it. So I also want it to be like something very relatable and just something that people can feel kind of like, if anything, I want to bring a sense of relief of like, okay, it's not
just
fine.
It's you, yeah.
It's not just me and it's fine. Like there's no rush, or if it didn't work out this time, I still have a whole life ahead of me. And,
and I love hearing dating stories. I think it's just, well, because I haven't honestly really put myself out there to date in the last couple years. And so, and I'm terrified of it, you know? So hearing other people's experiences is kind of relieving because I'm like, okay, am I too old for this? You know?
Have you done dating apps at all?
Yes, but listen, so I download them and then I have a conversation with one person and then it just doesn't go the way I want it to. And I'm like,
you're done.
Forget it. I'm deleting this.
That's where I'm at now.
This does not work out. I mean, and Liz will look through my dating profile and stuff and I'm just like, this is so awkward.
So I'm going to share you guys on a video that was sent to me by a friend yesterday. And it's, have you guys heard of Trey Kennedy? He's a comedian. He started in Vine. Do you guys remember Vine?
Yeah.
So he was a Vine star and now he's like this big YouTube star. And anyway, and he makes the funniest videos. Like he acts like women sometimes. And he did this video about online dating. And it was like basically him walking through 3 doors. The first one was Tinder. The second one was Bumble. The third one was Hinge. And it was him acting as the girl and then him also acting as the guy, chatting. It was hilarious. I was like, this is hilarious, but also very sad because that's exactly how it is. And I hate online dating, but it's like the only way for me to get out there and meet people. So it's like this love-hate relationship.
Especially when you're so busy. It's like you're busy working all the time. I'm like, I don't have time to go out to some place to go meet somebody. You know, after work, I have to go home and feed my dogs and let them out. Like, I don't have time to go to happy hour.
Yeah. And a lot of my friends, I don't know if you guys have the same issue, but a lot of my friends are in relationships or married or like in very serious relationships. So as much as they want to be my wingman or wingwoman, they really don't. They're not. And I love them. So they're the people that I hang out with the most. So it's hard for me to meet people like that too, through that too.
And they live vicariously through us.
Yes. I do. It's like, I don't want you to live vicariously through me. I want to live like you.
Like, yeah, go sleep with that guy. And I'm like, I'm trying to find a husband.
That's okay. That's how you find a husband.
Yeah, I'm a spread eagle girl.
Seriously, I already like put it out there and I told my husband and I told my friends and I'm like, the moment that we divorce, like me and my husband, if we ever do, it's like, I'm done. Like, I will like go full like nun or something.
No, you won't.
I will not date. Like, this dating world scares the shit out of me.
It's very scary. Well, so it's not, to me, it's not scary. It's just exhausting. I've talked about this before, but it's instant gratification. So it's very hard to give people chances. People give you one quick chance. And if you didn't click quickly, like through the app, or if you go on a date and it didn't work out, like immediately you're looking for the next option instead of like really taking the time to get to know someone. So it's really tough. There are so many options out there, so many dating apps. I don't know. People are afraid of commitment nowadays because life is getting more expensive and I don't know. I don't know what it is.
You don't want to be a stepmom.
I don't want to be.
I feel like sometimes
I was for a little bit at some
point. Like a competition a little bit.
Yeah.
Because they're scrolling through this feed and it's like the first thing they see is your picture and it's like, am I pretty enough? Am I,
God.
do I have these qualities that you know, and I hate describing myself on a freaking app. Like, I have so many
I hate writing the bio. I hate writing the fucking bio. Like, tell us about you, and I'm like, I just want to get off this fucking app. Like, get me a man.
Save me.
Help me.
Are you going to put a ring on this finger or not?
For real. Oh.
Never married, don't have kids. I have 2 dogs.
Cat woman over here, cat mom.
Oh my God.
Which immediately it's like, oh, crazy cat lady. I'm like, what the fuck? Cats are sweet.
They are.
Especially this one. Yeah. He's a sweet one. So I think this is a good segue into like what we wanted to talk about today. I want to give a little context to those who don't know. And then we'll jump into like the discussion part. So for those of you that don't know or don't remember, I posted a poll on my Instagram stories about, I want to say like 3 months ago. I think it was around Thanksgiving or Christmas time. And it was about me telling a woman, basically I found her husband on Bumble. And I had met her once. I was at this event. We talked a lot. She was all about her husband. They had a baby recently. And so...
You didn't mention that part.
Oh, I did.
You did?
No, maybe I didn't.
No, you didn't.
I
I
probably
think you just said
didn't.
husband and
Also,
wife.
does that
Yeah.
change your...
Well,
I'm just kidding. Skirt.
So I saw her husband and I was like, shit, do I tell her? Do I not tell her? And so I started this poll because I'm like, what do I do? Is it, I know girl code is a thing, but I barely knew this person. So I didn't know if me telling her was the right thing to do. I got a resounding yes from all the people that participated. It was like 90% yes, 10% no. But they were all very passionate answers. Like the yeses were like, absolutely, girl code bitch. Like, what the fuck? You would want to know, wouldn't you? And I'm like, wow, calm down.
Come for me.
I got a few ones that were like, woo. And then the no's were like, it's none of your fucking business. Stay out of it. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna reveal what I did after we discuss. And the reason why you guys are here is because you both voted also, and you both made comments. And Mel, you were no, or no, you were yes. You were yes. Tell her, and Liz was absolutely not.
I was the 10%.
Yeah, you were the 10%.
Clearly.
So I want to get.
We're debating.
Yeah, we're actually debating here. So I want to hear. Let's start with yes with Mel. So why do you think I should have told her?
I don't think it's just girl code. I think it's just, hey, I mean, it's not even if it's not your really close friend, I think you could just bring it up in a light way.
How can you bring that up in a light? I don't think there's a light way to bring it up.
Yeah, I mean, you're
like, hey.
That's almost ruining someone's marriage.
Potentially,
I guess, yeah. You're right.
I don't know. Okay, so I want to say yes if it's your really close friend.
Yeah.
Liz, if I saw your fucking husband on Bumble or whatever.
Oh, girl.
For
Bitch, I'm
sure.
fucking telling you.
Yeah.
Okay?
You better call 911 before I get there.
You know,
you call 911 first, and then you
tell me.
if it's an acquaintance, I don't think I could. Just because I don't know the dynamics of their relationship. They could have an open relationship.
Hey,
Who
right.
knows?
That was another thing that I was
It's
thinking about.
2020, like anything
And you know, I've come across those profiles on dating sites. So I wouldn't say it if it was an acquaintance. Now, if it was really close girlfriend and I knew their relationship, yes, I would say something. But I would probably say it in a light way of like, hey, is somebody catfishing so and so, and then like maybe show you a picture of what it looks like.
See, I didn't think about approaching it that way, but that's a good one. Like, hey, maybe someone's catfishing.
Yeah,
and using your pictures because I see that happening.
Yeah, so and then I would show you pictures of it. But as far as like telling somebody that I really don't know, no, I wouldn't say it. But yes, if it was like you or Liz or any of my other close girlfriends, yes, I would fucking say something.
Yeah, I absolutely would also do the same. Like, if it was someone that was very close to me or that I knew, like, really well, absolutely, 1,000%. And that's where I was, like, struggling because I'm like, I'm going to see this girl again.
Yeah.
And because her and I go to this, like, I'm not going to say names, but, like, this women's community or co-working space. And I'm sure that I'll see her at another event. So that's the other thing. That's why I was hesitant to tell her because I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen after I tell her. She might believe her husband, like, or whatever. Maybe they have an open relationship. I'm still going to be the one
who dropped this bomb. However
it looks or whatever their relationship is.
What you need to do is swipe right.
Well, so this is how.
Just kidding.
So. I matched with him. I matched with him, but I didn't know at that moment. I was like, "Oh, this guy looks familiar," but I didn't put two and two together.
Okay.
And then probably like I don't remember the exact timeline of how this all happened, but I want to say like 2 days later, I see her posting stuff on Instagram because we exchanged Instagrams at an event at the event that we met at, and I'm like, oh, wait a second, this dude looks really familiar, and I go back to the app, and I'm like, holy shit, it's this guy. Now with Bumble, there's like different like categories. So there's Bumble BFF, Bumble Biz, and Bumble Date. So I was like, okay, let me see. Maybe this guy is doing like Bumble Biz, like promoting his business. But then I went back and None of the pictures were like business.
Yeah. Over here, like,
Yeah, it's like new or newish. He didn't have like any business attire. All his pictures were very casual, like t-shirts, traveling, like very, very loose, nothing business. And then I read his description and it was like very like vague and blah. It was like loves to travel and loves to eat. So that's not promoting your business.
Yeah.
If you were looking for business partners. Then the Bumble BFF, I'm like, okay, well maybe he's looking for friends because they had recently moved to the area. So then I was like, well, if you're looking for friends, what do you want? People that are like-minded or that also have kids or that are young couples, young families. And you would put a picture of your baby, of your wife, no pictures of the baby, no pictures of the wife. So I was like, okay, this guy's definitely like on Bumble Date. And then I also thought maybe he forgot to close his profile.
I've come across that same thing, and that's what I was going to say. So I saw somebody that is close to me. I saw their boyfriend on the app, and I took screenshots.
It ain't my boyfriend or my husband.
No, it's not. It's not.
Like, bitch, I'd be in jail.
No, I would have told you, like, I would have, like, emailed it to you or sent you through a text message. But no, this was somebody that I know. And I took screenshots of it, and I just kind of kept it to myself. And then I brought it up to my mom in conversation. And I was like, Mom, look at this. And she was like, what? And I was like, she's like, maybe it's an old picture. And I was like, all right, let me find out. So I go to Facebook, and I look through this person's pictures, and it's her picture, but she's cut out.
Oh.
And I'm like, look, I know where that's at. I know where he's at there. I know whose house he's at.
Oh, wow.
And she's like, Mel, how do you find that? I'm like, I am the FBI.
Girl,
like,
same.
If you can find somebody, I'll get my whole freaking Joe.
Same. You and I should start a business. I'm so good. I'm the same.
Me
like
too.
That house, that toilet, that towel. I know that.
Yep.
Like I know it all.
Take a picture with
My mom's like, you're
so I
psycho.
know.
I'm like, I'm not psycho. Like, it's there.
Yeah, it's
you
there.
can tell.
We
Like,
pay
they
attention
were-
to detail.
They were obviously together because they're at her mom's house. Let's just say that. And she's cut out of the picture. They're together.
Oh no, ma'am. So in this case with this guy, I remembered that she had also mentioned how long they had been married for, and it was more than 5 years. So a Bumble profile is not going to stay there for 5 or
I don't
plus
even know
years.
if Bumble's that
I don't even know if it
it's been that
existed.
long, yeah.
5 years ago?
So yeah. So you were on the absolutely
I
no.
was on no. And for very good reasons. And I stand by it because I've had the shitty end of the stick on 2 occasions. And I was mentioning this because I remember on the first occasion, I came across it and I came with like all hardcore evidence. Like I had...
You were like, fuck, little bitch. You'd be like, for files. She's like, I'm ready to go.
I was like FBI status. Like I had pictures, I had video, like I had, and this had been going on probably a full month of me like
Gathering all this evidence.
Okay, so here I come, like about to save the day. Like this is a trash ass man, girl. Like move on, you know. And so I'm not gonna say something without backing it up,
Right.
You know, because I would be the same way. Like show me like evidence, not just I heard from so and so. And so I show her, and all I get was like, okay, thank you for telling me, right? So this wasn't like a close friend,
Yeah.
but we hung out.
Yeah.
You know, we went out, we hung out, we had drinks together, we would have dinner. So
I would call that close.
right,
Maybe like
but
a
I mean,
BFF,
like,
but
I think like we weren't like to the extent of like me and Mel. Like there's just a different relationship with friends that you carry. You know what I mean? And she was like, okay, thanks. So then little by little, I'm like, hey. You know, I followed up with her like probably like 2 weeks later. Like I didn't want to bombard her and be like, what's going on? And so my messages were going through, but I wasn't getting anything back. So then I go to message her on Facebook. Bitch, I got blocked. I got blocked by
see,
her.
that's the risk that you
I got
take.
blocked by him. And then I got almost crucified by her sister and one of her cousins about why the fuck would I make up all this shit about...
Oh, they even like you made
They
it
came
up.
at me. They came, yeah. So she
my
didn't even
God.
have like the decency to come to me and be like,
how did you get this information?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then me showing her.
Give you the benefit of the doubt.
Exactly.
Too.
And talk to me. No, I don't know if she told her family to come at me. But anyways, they attacked me and were like, you're a piece of shit for making this up. Like, you're just jealous, blah, blah, blah. Like,
what? Girl.
Yeah.
Jealous of your trash ass man.
Yeah, exactly. And so, after that, I was like, all right, like, fuck it. You're going to do what you're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I got cut off from her life as a friend, and everyone knew because she started telling people, like, I was trying to wreck their relationship. And anyways, around this time I was single. Like, I had left my daughter's dad and I had been in the dating scene. So I guess one part of her thought that I wanted her man, or I just wanted her to be single with me. Like, yeah. So anyways, so then years later after this happened, she messaged me and she's like, I'm so sorry, like, I didn't believe you and blah, blah, blah. But at that point of her even apologizing, it was a matter of the fact, it was too late for me. Mm-hmm. I was like, well, you did what you did for whatever reason.
Yeah,
but
you had your entire family attack me too. Like, what the hell?
Oh, and that's when, like, Facebook, like, people would attack you on Facebook and like, tag you, and she's,
that's not cool.
A lying bitch, blah, blah, blah. So it was just really ugly. So I'm like, the fuck? I'm never going to do that again.
Yeah.
So it was really, like, almost traumatizing to...
You were trying to do the right thing and it backfired. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And so I had a second time happen with a different close friend, and the same thing happened. Like, I got cut off because somehow these trash ass men manipulate women to think to a point that,
I mean, you
they
believe
break you down.
Yeah.
Like, to the core of you don't believe you're good enough for anybody else but them.
Yeah. That's what that's a good point, because I don't think they are mentally maybe stable or mentally there to accept that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The truth, because those people have already manipulated them to the point where whatever they think is the truth, then that's the truth. Mm-hmm. So you have to take that into consideration if you want to tell them, like, is she okay to listen to this? Mm-hmm. Can she handle the truth?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Will she take the truth and, do whatever she wants with it, or is she going to attack me? Mm-hmm. Because if somebody saw somebody I was dating, if you saw somebody I was dating that was somewhere else, or they were cheating on me, I would want somebody to tell me. Mm-hmm. Because I would want to know too. So-and-so told me this. I have proof. What the fuck are you doing here? Mm-hmm. Why are you on here?
Exactly.
So you have to, I guess take that into consideration of their mental state, of whether they're mature enough to take that.
Yeah, and sometimes as a friend, you don't see the behind closed doors of what's going on in their actual relationship. You just know the highlight reel, unless you're, like, really close and they're able to even
if you're super close. You really never know what goes behind closed doors.
To disclose certain things, because certain things are supposed to stay within, like, your marriage or your relationship. Like, no one else should know about it. So with the second time this happened, I worked it in to have someone else tell her, and then they came to me and being like, can you back this up? So there I go. And at that point, like, she believed what we were saying, but he manipulated the whole situation. She stopped talking to me for, like, about two years almost, until we met up. And I guess somehow that just, we're doing good. Mm-hmm. We've been working through it, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, like, good luck, girl. Like, I'm here for you. Because she had apologized, she's like, I found out about it. We took a break, and whatever happened after that was between them. But I just got kind of, like, sick to my stomach of the fact of that I didn't want to get put in this situation that all I'm here to do as a friend is, like, wreck your relationship.
Right.
And that's the thing that I guess I don't like for my character to be, like, almost, like, completely shitted on, because the person that I am is so, like, I'm going to tell you how it is if it might hurt your feelings.
Right.
But I just hope you see it. Yeah, exactly. And I just hope you see it not coming from an ugly standpoint, but
from
like
a caring place.
From a caring place. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And how Mel said, not everyone's ready to hear those things. And so I'm like, well, I guess we're gonna have to see where the ball ends, because sometimes you're gonna have to hear the ugly truth whether you want it to or not. But I was completely no because of these two instances.
Yeah, I mean, I would be traumatized too. I'd be like, absolutely not. I'm not saying
I don't
a word ever again.
Because eventually, all truth comes to light.
Yes.
Whether you want it or not, and that maybe not right away you're gonna find out.
Eventually, and there's a saying in Spanish like "el que las hace las paga."
Yeah.
And it'll get back to karma's a bitch, and it'll come out like somehow it will.
Yeah. And I think a lot of those women, sometimes if they react that way, it's because they're embarrassed.
Of course, yeah.
It's like you're gonna react how like upset and angry because they're embarrassed of the situation, and that before she knows.
Oh yeah.
So you feel fooled.
I mean, I would feel embarrassed. I'd be like, I can't believe you fucking found that out, and I did it. Yeah, I would feel embarrassed. But I would definitely want to know.
Yeah, you're right. It does come from a place of embarrassment and just flat out like, how did I not see it?
Yeah.
And then because you're in different places. Like I think I put into thought like, if my husband ever cheated on me, first of all, like, I better be handcuffed before I get to him. You know what I mean? So at the same time, like, sorry to say it, but I even had the thought that if it came to cheating, I want to know why.
Mm-hmm.
I would want to know why. Was it a one-time thing? Was it more than just the physical? Was there emotion towards it? Like, not that I would forgive it. Oh, hell no. Like, that's just not the type of person I am.
That's a good thing that you bring up, because I was thinking about this and I was talking about it with someone the other day. And when I found out that I was being cheated on, this was a full-on affair. Like, they had been together for a very long time, like over a year.
Yeah.
So this conversation came about because I just went through a situation where someone said, like, you shouldn't give people second chances. And I'm like, okay, I don't fully believe that, because of course my ex-husband, or whatever you want to call him, fucking idiot.
Just call him fucking idiot.
Yeah. He cheated on me for a long time. That is unforgivable. Like a full-on affair, no, absolutely not. Now, if I have a boyfriend that is the best guy ever, great heart, I know him, he goes out with his buddies to a bachelor party, gets fucking trashed, has too many tequilas, makes a poor decision, and does something shitty, but I know in his heart that he's not like that, and I trust him, and he just fucked up once. Of course I'm going to be pissed.
And he comes to you and
tells me,
like, right away.
Then at that, he's like, babe, so sorry. Like, I fucked up. I had too many tequilas.
Yeah.
I blacked out. I was caught up in the moment. Then I will be super hurt, but I will forgive that.
Yeah.
A one time.
The one time.
If they have a good explanation for it, yes.
Yes.
If it's just because they just want to fuck shit up, then
no, that's different.
Yeah,
but if they're like, I mean, because it's happened. I've seen it happen.
And
they fucking regret it the next day. And you're like, people fuck up. We're human beings. We're going to make mistakes.
Exactly.
But a full-on, blown-on, like, affair, or if this person has been on a dating app for, I don't know, 7 months, like,
you
why?
consciously made the decision to cheat.
1,000%.
No.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is
totally
unforgivable.
Agree. And I see that in marriages, or like people are like, oh, if dating other men, they're like, if I cheated, what would you do? And I'm like, well, I don't know. It just depends on the situation.
Right.
I can't tell you.
And the circumstances.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know. Like, would you cheat? Like, and that's my first question. Why are you asking me that? Are you a cheater or what? But, it just depends on the situation. I'm like, if we're married and have kids, I want to know why.
Yeah.
Like, what happened? Was it something that I could have done, that I wasn't giving you something that you needed?
Yeah.
Whether it's attention, time, whatever.
Right, So those are the things that I take into consideration when somebody cheated on me.
Yeah.
Which I don't think I've ever had that. if somebody cheated on me, I don't know.
It's never happened to me like it's a one time and they come to me and they're like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry I fucked up. No, it's always like I end up finding out.
Like,
and it's consciously doing it. And it's like, wow, that is where I'm just like, why not just end the relationship, period? Like, if you're going to go fuck with other people, like, cool, it sucks that you don't want to be with me, but bye. Like, this is going to hurt me more.
And I want to come clean on it all at this point, because y'all are here for the juicy stuff, but I've been a cheater, and I've been cheated on. So I've been on both ends of it, and I can tell you from being cheated on, it gives you a sense of, like, you're not good enough. You
You immediately turn the blame on yourself.
Oh, yeah. It's so easy to do that. Like, where did I mess up where I thought like I was giving my all, you know? And then that gives you that lack of like self-esteem, like self-worth, and it makes you think about it, you know? And it's like, well, shit. Then you think back and it's like, well, this is karma getting me, you know?
Oh, yeah.
It's karma getting me, you know? And then I'm like, because I had a moment of like complete, like, I guess, weakness, and I was getting attention from another guy that I was lacking in my relationship.
Yeah.
And it came down to simply one kiss. I admitted it, but then that also brought me back to being like, well, shit, I don't need to be in this relationship if I'm looking for the attention in someone else.
Yeah.
And so that led me to end that relationship. But when I got cheated on, I'm like, what did I do?
That's not karma.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I thought the same. Like with my ex, the one that I was with, that I was actually legally married to, at the end of the relationship, well, kidding. When things were like, there was a point where they were really, really, really bad. I also kissed a guy.
Yeah.
You know, like I was out with my friend and I was getting attention that I wasn't getting at home.
Exactly.
And I did it and I felt terrible. Like the next day I was like, I shouldn't have done this. And I did admit it to him. And he surprisingly was understanding. And that's when I started like, okay, there's definitely something going on here, because for him to be like so understanding and like, he was upset, but he wasn't like, what the fuck? How dare you? He was just like, okay, well that sucks, but you know, I get it.
You're like, wait, what? That's
like,
not the reaction you expected. You expected him to like,
so that
curse you
continued
up and
to fuel
down
like my thoughts and like I'm like, you're something's definitely going on.
Yeah.
It's 100%. But, and then when things did happen and things did come to light, that's when I was like, oh shit, like,
it makes
it's karma.
Question a lot, yeah.
It's karma. I'm like, well, I just kissed a guy. Like, this guy is having a full-blown affair, sleeping with this person. He would disappear on me on weekends. Like, it wasn't like, you know, on Tuesday nights, he would just like go play soccer, quote unquote. And then, no, it was, he would leave on a Friday, not come back till Sunday, never answer my phone calls.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so crazy. And it makes you think about all of this. That's what I'm saying. When I was put in the situation of telling someone, I was like, well, I would have wanted to know.
Yeah.
Or, you know, when I said something, it kind of gave me a sense of like reflection on my relationships. So it's like, okay, you need to let go of that relationship if you're having these thoughts or these feelings of you prefer someone else's attention than who you're with. So for me, telling someone before like anything was the sense of, like pearl code. And also like, it would be shitty if it happened to you.
Yeah.
You know? And then here I go. I fucking learned my lesson twice. But it also comes with like, if it were to happen again, it would literally have to take it being like a really close friend or even family for me to say anything. Besides that, you're going to do what you're going to do with your life. And I don't want to be that person that was trying to quote unquote home wreck or like ruin your relationship. Because
at that point, it's already ruined. So
exactly, you're
true.
gonna figure out one way or another. And I think women get so much shit already without having anything going on. You know what I mean? Like in relationships, everyone has an opinion. Everyone sees certain things on highlight reels. You only see the cute stuff on Instagram.
Oh yeah.
But then you don't know what's going on behind the scenes. So like it feels like almost like you're going to attack someone for what happened. It almost feels like it.
Yeah.
So it's really hard. It's a really hard.
It was a hard decision for me because I was cheated on. So I was like, I would have wanted to know sooner rather than later versus like finding out that I had been cheating on for all this long. But then I was like, would I had
done anything?
Or would I believe the person that told me? Which my answer would be no, because I was so obsessed with this relationship and so in love with this person that
you don't want to quit so easily.
I didn't want to quit. So if somebody would tell me something, I'd be like, and my family and friends, like they didn't like him. They were like, what are you doing with him? And I was like, whatever. Like I made it a point to like, I built a case and I was like, this is my man and I'm not leaving him.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to hear it until things got real bad. And that's when I was like, okay, you guys were right. But it took a while. You don't want to admit it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you don't want to be that person being signaled as like,
oh yeah,
the tell.
No, like I wouldn't tell. This person is part of my family, and I still wouldn't tell them. But I know the truth. You know, I know I've seen them at family events and family functions, and I still would not say anything. But I know I have eyes. Like, I am just like,
a lot of times men just do it for freaking attention too.
No, they're not. Like, they're not cute.
We know you in real life.
Yeah, I'm like, that's a cute picture, but he ain't cute. Like, no.
You forever have that ugly, like
and I may sound like a bitter bitch, you know, because I'm not in a relationship and I don't have one, but like,
that's not what it is.
That's not what it is at all. Like, I want all my female friends, all my friends, guy friends too, to have loving and honest and loyal relationships. Like, even if it was a guy and his girlfriend was cheating, like, and he was really close to me, I would want to tell him, like, no, she's fucking up, bro. Like,
yeah. Same. No, I'm the same way. I think,
I guess it just depends where you want to let this go. I mean, I think at the end of the day, we all make our decisions on a selfless basis. But then at the same time, you do have to look out for yourself and how you're going to get either hurt, cut off, or just plain and simple just...
Yeah, like, are you ready to assume the potential consequences that come along with it?
Absolutely.
And if you're ready for either a positive consequence or a negative consequence, then go for it. If you're not ready for the negative, then don't fucking do it. Like,
yeah, that's true. Because that shit does take a toll on you. Being called like a homewrecker and a liar.
Of course, especially when you know that it came from a good place.
Oh my God, that's the worst part of it all is like the one time that I feel like I'm trying to do something right by someone that like I consider a friend.
Yeah.
I get people attacking me, like, holy shit, well then, fuck y'all. Almost, and it's just like, well, y'all are gonna do what you're gonna do, regardless of what I say or do, so that's, my stance is just no, but I guess it's on a case-to-case basis, to be honest.
I'm on a yes and no, because no, I wouldn't do it on an acquaintance or that family member, because they used to go to family functions, and then I would no longer be invited. You know what? I'm kind of okay with that. If I don't go, I don't go. I don't care. You know, but if it was like you or my really close friends, yes, I would fucking tell you.
Y'all better tell me.
I'd go bury him for you.
Girl.
We're going to do this little liar style.
We'll go together, bitch. I'm going to jail with you.
We're going all together. Y'all are ride or dies, for real. No, but seriously, it's just a really hard situation. Because, like I said, if I got told that, then I would want to obviously go into it and be like, why did you do this? Like, why? You know, I wouldn't attack her. Like, don't go kill the fucking messenger. Like, dude,
that's true.
Like, all in all, like, they're probably just trying to watch out for you. But different people take it different ways. But I would want to know why. Was there a reason? You know, it would just come into like full circle if I got everything answered.
I don't think I would immediately like believe you. I would be like, okay, give me this evidence and let me go talk to this person, to my husband, my boyfriend, see what he has to say, and then I'll come back to you and be like, so tell me more. How did you find this? Like, where did you get this information? Show me how you found it.
Yeah.
Give me more evidence behind the evidence.
Exactly.
And then that's what I would do. I'd be like, no, I'm getting to the bottom of this. If I'm either going to find out that you're a liar, or I'm going to find out that he's a fucking liar. So one of them, I'm not going to just live in that limbo.
Oh no, you had to get.
Or I'd
to
be
the
like, what did y'all do this weekend? And she's like, oh, my husband went out. Oh, really? Well, let me show you.
Yeah.
Where he went.
Yeah, get in my car, bitch. We're gonna go find him.
Oh,
Let me show you where he is.
There's a reason there's fucking Find Me apps. I'm just saying.
Oh, for real.
Oh my lord, I couldn't do that.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying, like, not for me. Like in my marriage, I was just like saying, like, that's why there's women that have these, not because they're crazy, but because they've been made to be crazy. You know what I mean? Like, you've had past relationships, and it just really depends. Every woman's so different. Like, you know, you do go into different relationships with a different mindset, I guess. And as you get older, you grow and you change, and you're like, you know, I've said it before, my husband's phone in 6 years that we've been together, I have never picked it up besides to hand it to him.
Yeah.
I will not look through it. I will not open it. I will, unless he's like, hey, take a picture, or hey, can you answer the phone?
I always say, el que busca encuentra.
Yeah,
if you
exactly.
seek, you're gonna find something.
Yeah,
and it
so
can
true.
be someone that, I don't know, a long lost cousin that could have texted them, and you're like, what the fuck? Who is this girl? Like, you're always going to find something and interpret something because that's why you're looking. You're looking with the intention to find
because
something.
you already have in your gut feeling that something's going on, and that's why you look. I know because I was in my 8-year relationship. He would jump in the shower and I would fucking look through his phone. He would fall asleep. I would look through his phone. I was crazy. I logged into his Facebook, saw all his messages. Yes, I'm showing my crazy right now.
No, but did you find something?
Yes, I always found something.
Because you was like, you followed your intuition. And it's crazy, guys. But men, if you're listening, do not question a woman's intuition.
Oh.
And he thought I was like crazy. Not crazy, but he's like, how do you know? How do you know? I'm like, you're fucking stupid because I know the password to your phone. I have to log into your Facebook. And it's fucking there. Like, you were out with your guy friends, but you were messaging her all night. Don't fucking come at me. You know? And so
we're asking questions, we already know the answer.
So having learned that was part of my
I love
healing.
watching them just lie to my face. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I lied to him because I would be like, I know. I would never tell him that I looked through his shit.
Oh, okay.
I'd be like, I know. You're acting different. You're acting different. I can sense there's something going on. But that made me, in my healing process for my next relationship, I was like, I'm never fucking doing that again.
Touching him.
Like,
the moment you have that gut
it's such a
feeling,
fucking waste of time because he'd be out all night and I'm home looking at his Facebook while he's messaging her.
Yeah, no.
And so with
and
my
that's
next
already
relationship,
like a red flag. Like, I'm totally fine with people having like, yes, have your girls' night, have your boys' night, do your thing, but sometimes, like in my case, this guy was going at it like 2-3 times a week. And I'm like, okay, you never want to spend time with me. There's something that's not right.
Yeah.
And you just, and then the nights get later. First they start coming home at 11, then it's 1 o'clock.
Because they
then
think
it's 3 o'clock.
they're getting away with this much time. Let me push
Let
this
me
a
know
little
that further. Let's see how far it can go. So it's you're opening that door to other opportunities.
It's funny because I read something that said the red flags you ignore in the beginning are the reasons why,
that's true.
the reason why things go awry. Basically,
that's why you have to be very clear on what you want, on your fucking boundaries.
Oh yeah,
and stick to them. Don't let anything like slip through the cracks or like, okay, I'll forgive this one thing. No, when you start forgiving that one thing that goes against what you believe in, what your boundaries are,
what else?
That's it.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
So I'm gonna say what I did.
What did you do?
So I was convinced that I was gonna tell her after like everybody said yes, and
you got how much yes?
I think it was 90%. It was a lot, and I think I had like about 90-ish people like respond, so it was a good amount.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna tell her. I'm gonna have my evidence. I was at work, and I was like, I'm just gonna go home, write a quick, short message. Even invite her out to coffee if she wants, so we can talk about it. But I have my screenshots. Like I'll send her the evidence with the message.
Yeah.
So I come back home and I go on my Instagram, and this was around Christmas time, and I see that she's posting videos with the baby, and he's carrying the baby, and they're having like this jolly good time with family and friends, and I'm like, I'm gonna potentially ruin this woman's holiday if I say something like, okay, maybe they do have an open relationship. Still, I'm putting her through a moment where she's like, why is this girl, like, why is she reaching out to me? So, and then I realized the one that's really fucking up is him. He's the one that needs to be put in his fucking place.
Yeah.
So I go back to the Bumble app and I sent him a message, and I was like, hey, so-and-so, I actually met your wife so-and-so at this event. So looks like you're married, huh? And I left it at that. And that day I was just like, I went to sleep. I didn't really think about it much. And I kind of forgot about it for a day. And then I was like, oh, let me see if he responded. Because I had like my notifications off. So I didn't know. And I went back, and guess what?
What?
Profile deleted. So that fucking guy was like, holy shit. I'm sure he was shitting his pants for at least a week. And then here's the kicker. 2 weeks later, she's like, surprise trip to Cuba with my honey. And I'm like, bitch, that's a guilt trip. That's not a surprise trip. Yeah. And so I was like, okay.
That's so good. So more of the story, tell the guy. Not
Tell the guy. Yeah. Be like, I know you're fucking lying.
Tell the cheater.
Back to the fucking trip to Cuba. I know
I was like, that was it, because I didn't know clearly he was doing it behind her back. Because if he did have an open relationship, like he could have easily responded like, thanks for looking out, but I have an open relationship with my wife.
Exactly.
Like, and I'm like, cool. But the
And
fact
usually
that
they're
he
really
deleted
open
it.
about that on their profiles.
Yes.
It's like
they're flat out.
Yeah.
Usually, I've seen that
they're
too. Like,
polyamorous relationship, and it's just like swipe left. Like
Yeah.
I'm not into that, but yeah, usually they are open about it, and they
Yeah.
have pictures of their wives or girlfriends on there. So
Yep. So I was like, So when I saw that he had deleted it, I was like,
Good
okay, I'm
job.
sure that you're probably not sleeping tonight, and probably for the next week. And then little surprise trip to Cuba. But hey, if that made him realize like I shouldn't be fucking around and I'm not
Yeah.
gonna do anything,
Do you?
cool. I did my job. I was like, she doesn't have to know. He doesn't need to. I don't even know if he went on dates. So
Who knows?
Who knows?
At that point, it's not for you to
No.
like be
and
the
I
judge.
don't care.
Yeah.
I
know,
did. I
and
felt
jury.
good with what I did. I slept good at night, and I was like, okay, at least he knows not to be an idiot. And I was very specific. I mentioned her name. I told him where I met her and when, and he knows where that place is because she works there a lot. So and it's right by their house.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Wow.
I was so impressed. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
I thought you were going to say I just didn't tell her, but I really love that you went to him.
Yeah.
If anything, that just it makes you either think like, is she gonna go tell her right after she told
Right.
me?
That's why he
Or, like,
deleted it. I was like, this fucking guy, I can assure you he did not sleep at least for 5 days. He was like, what the fuck? When is this woman gonna email my wife?
Dude,
Yeah, I mean,
that
again,
that
surprise trip to Cuba.
anxiety.
Fuck that surprise trip. It was a
Right.
fucking guilt trip, like
Sure
all
was.
over it. It was so.
Oh,
but hey, if it's
Hey.
hopefully
That
he knows
served
not to
him
do
right.
that
Mhm.
again.
That served him right.
Men,
and
don't be idiots. I don't get it. I just don't get it. Even if it's just
They
for
think-
attention.
And they think
Even-
for, I guess, a point they can get away with it, and then from there they just kind of see where it falls.
Yeah.
In a sense, like I've had guy friends where I'm like, "Why did you cheat, dude?" Like I
Yeah.
want to know. Like I think women are different people because we're more emotional,
Yes.
rather than
And we
physical.
are made to nurture too, so
Exactly.
we connect quicker. Like when we make out with a guy that we like, or we
Yeah.
have that first
There's
night with
already
them.
an emotional,
100%.
Yeah.
And men just have like
physical, like
their emotion comes
You
from
know?
their
They
penis.
have a different need. It's like they can have an emotional connection with their wife, like a spiritual connection, but maybe physical, maybe that's not it right now.
Yeah,
you know, and
exactly.
especially you said she had a baby, maybe he's not feeling
And
it.
the baby
you know?
was not even a year old.
So
yeah, it's hard.
Yeah.
and that's the shitty end of it is like when you don't communicate in like well enough in a marriage or in any relationship, things do fall through the cracks, especially after having had a baby.
Yeah.
And so like
I feel like that's like an unspoken thing too
It
in a lot
really
of
is.
marriages. Like things are gonna get very, very difficult.
Before
and
they
you have to be
are.
like, are you sure you want to get married to someone? Are you willing to go through these difficult situations with this person? You're gonna have moments where you might not want to have sex with each other. You might not want to look at each other.
Oh,
Your
gosh.
wife is gonna be tired because she's fucking taking care of a baby.
yeah, don't look at me naked. Like I
Right.
just had a baby. Like, oh my gosh, it's so hard. But yeah, for sure. I hope that served him right.
I
and
hope so,
he had
too.
like the shits with like anxious.
That's what I was hoping too.
Woo,
Like this, I
like-
hope he didn't sleep. I
Yeah.
hope he couldn't eat. I hope he had diarrhea for at
Yeah.
least 7 days in a row.
Right?
Yeah.
Serves him
Again,
I hope he
surprise
had
trip.
a lot of mojitos.
on you, baby. This
Yes.
Cuba trip, all right.
Yeah, I'm like, I should get some money from that. Like, you're welcome. I saved your marriage.
I saved your marriage, bitch.
Saved your marriage, Jake. Oh my gosh. Yep.
This is so good.
Well, I'm very happy with my decision. So there it is, guys.
I love
Round
it. I
of
love it.
applause.
Yes.
Yay, snap, snap, snap for everybody. But yeah, like that's just one thing that I will never
Yeah.
comprehend. So
No.
man, just be better. Do better.
And
There's no-
communicate.
and communicate.
Women too.
Yeah.
Yeah, women too,
To
yeah.
just say like, I am not happy and I need XYZ from you.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes it does come off like really hard, to be honest, like communication, but it's everything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
True that.
It is.
Yep.
Well, this was so much fun.
I know.
I love having you guys, and I cannot wait for part 2. So this is part 1 of us chatting, and then we will be chatting hopefully in the next few weeks. In part 2, we'll be talking a little bit more about like my dating life and my experiences and my career and how those two have like blended together.
Excited.
Yeah.
Yeah, very interesting.
So, any final thoughts from you, ladies?
Man.
I'm excited for you, and
Yes.
I'm really happy with the decision you made.
Thank
to
you.
tell him.
Yes.
Like, now I know.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, since I'm on dating profiles, not right now. Like, I'm just not into it right now.
No.
But when I do see him,
Just say it.
that's the response I'm going to do.
Yeah.
It makes more sense to me.
To go to the person who's ruining it,
Yes.
who's doing
Make
Exactly.
them feel guilty.
Why are you gonna? That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Like, why am I gonna put her through potential stress
Oh my
Mhm.
gosh, yeah.
when he's the one that's fucking up? So why
Yeah.
does she have to feel the stress when he should be the one fucking
Yeah.
crying and fucking
Yeah.
like praying to God that
Yeah.
nothing happened? So
Exactly. I really like that. But I think all in all, in a marriage, relationship, whatever it may be, you make it what you want it to be. Your marriage is your own. And so just from here moving forward, if it gives you a different sense of like, I guess, perspective, always make sure that you're listening,
Mhm.
you know, at the end of the day, whether it's coming from friends, just listen. Don't just jump off right off the bat and be like, no, you're just trying to ruin what I have, you know?
check.
And just check in and just see where it all lies. I think you know as a woman's intuition, like, are they being for real or they're not? But I think it's always trusting that intuition for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, thank you
Absolutely.
for having
Of
me.
course. So one last thing, where can people find you?
On Facebook and Instagram, it's Modern Day Mujeres. And on Twitter, we're at Modern Day Mujer. And we're on all major platforms.
Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio.
Please head over to their podcast. It's really, really, really good
Thank
for women
you.
and men, everybody.
Oh,
Yes.
for sure. We welcome everybody.
Everyone.
Well, thank you again, ladies, for being on the podcast. And I can't wait for this episode to air. Can't wait to hear all the feedback. If you guys like what you heard, you know what to do. Go on iTunes, wherever you listen to your podcast, rate, review, subscribe, and give me all the feedback. And I will be back soon. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.